I think there's good reason to be suspicious of it. What most people don't realize is the cognitive scientists, the psychologists, they embrace the causal closure principle, and hence they're suspicious of even any what we'll just call a teleological explanation. They're suspicious of explaining things in terms of purposes, and so that they're not only going to say the belief in the soul is a false belief, it's widespread, but they're also going to say that the belief in purposes, that we actually perform actions for purposes, that itself is a mistaken belief. And if that's a mistaken belief, one can see why they would also go on to say a belief in the soul is a mistaken belief, because the two are, intertwined deeply. They also are suspicious of the fact that we even reason, because when we reason, we have one mental event, an apprehension of a certain type of content, causally producing another type of content, which would suggest that we don't explain everything just physically. We actually explain things mentally, both in terms of our reasoning and, again, in teleological explanations. So that if they're right, that all these beliefs are false, one can't help but wonder why they're even engaged in their cognitive psychology, their cognitive science, their psychologists. Seemingly they do what they do for purposes, and seemingly they reason their way to doing what they do for purposes. So it's a lot bigger issue than one might think, just to dismiss the belief in the soul as false. One has to be aware that they think there's an awful lot that we believe, like concerning what we think of as the mind psychology. It's just false. And if it's all false, it's awfully difficult to explain why they do anything.